handed on by this community. That's, that's good, because that means the shoes wear out.
Sells a lot of product.
Any questions on any of this or anything else?
Anybody have a question? Please, anybody first? Yes? Whoever was talking.
Thank you for the everything you're doing is amazing, but it's interesting. As we were watching them, where do the ideas come from? It seems like it's a very collaborative effort, or was the avatar something that RGA came up with, or I'm just curious to know where the idea generation started.
I think it's a really, really important question, because if you expect in any company for ideas to come from one certain place, they most likely will not come, or they will be very uniform. So we have great creative partners, a number of really, really strong agencies. We have people internally, we have designers, we have our own brand connections groups. It doesn't matter where an idea comes from. I think it's the ability to see it, spot it, develop it, refine it, and execute it. And I think that ability to be open to, hey, you know what, it can come from anywhere. If it's a good idea, it's a good idea. There's no prestige, there's no ownership, there's no, I have to brief someone who then has to do something, and I then have to be the person that responds and gives feedback on that, and then that dance goes back and forth and back and forth. I think it's a much more, hey, if it's a good idea, we'll craft it together. And I think it comes from different places. Sometimes it's RGA, sometimes it's another agency, sometimes it's Nike. And oftentimes, actually, I think that we have the ability and the fortune to have people within the Nike marketing group that are so connected in with what young consumers do that you just can't but come up with ideas just because you're in the world every day. So you go, oh, that's interesting. Where they're doing this with maps, and this is a social application, and this is what I'm doing when I'm out running, or this is what I'm doing when I'm playing tennis or football. And then the ideas just come. But they can come from anywhere. I think that's really important to not expect someone to be the idea generator.
I also think that it's important, what I mentioned in the beginning, that we work with marketing, e-commerce, retail, and technology. I think there has to be a real lot of trust. And if you're one of the hardest collaborations that I find with our other clients, and I think that Nike really does lead the way with this, is the relationship that marketing has with technology or technical integration. And it's a very difficult thing. In most companies, there are very different types of people. But there's a great collaborative effort that happens there. And we participate in it and really see that this is the direction that clients need to move into in the future. Another question? Yes?
Why is the iPod Nano the only iPod model available for Nike Plus?
It has to do with, there is a normal cycle of hardware capabilities that came in the iPods, and there were certain things that the older iPods actually couldn't manage to crank up the data. So from iPod Nano and onward, it's there. So the Shuffle and the iPhone are going to be enabled moving forward. So we don't have a set date for that, but so from now on, the newer generation devices will be enabled with Nike Plus.
There's a question back there.
Yes.
Just yell.
The human race is a brilliant idea. I'm just wondering, this is the first I've heard, and I'm sure many people have heard this first as well. How do you plan on communicating, getting the word out to the world?
Yeah. So that's a good question. So how are we going to market the human race? How are we going to get a million people to run? Trust me, I'm worried about that. There are the traditional marketing channels, right? In the 25 big cities where you have a race, you want the whole city to be talking, and you'll see traditional out-of-home, online media, print, all those media you use to just generate a lot of awareness. We also have a fantastic opportunity in that when you have an install base like this, immediately, you just reach this huge group of passionate and almost like evangelists for what this is. So they'll then go out and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to run the human race. So you're going to run the human race. And that has a ripple effect as well. But there's a combination of just traditional media using all the known, and you'll see more and more of that appearing as we come closer. So July, we're ramping up our efforts around the human race to accelerate throughout August, and then on August 31, the thing breaks loose. But the beauty is just, you can be anywhere you are, and just the only thing you have to do is dock your Nano or Sport Band on a 3108, and you're a part of the human race. And it's free to join if you've got Plus, which is fun.
It's also dozens of countries and different languages, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. Next question? Yes, over there. Yep.
Of customization? Yeah, I think, it's also one of those that started off as not really making us any money. It was never an intention to go, we're going to sell million. It started off by saying, will people be interested in this? Will our consumers, do they actually want to do this? Because you could also say, hey, I pay you Nike to design the shoes, I don't have to do it. So I think that what we did in the beginning was just trying out. What we're getting better and better and better at is manufacturing processes, back end. We're getting much better at letting you know, where is the product design, when did it leave the factory, when is it on the ship, when can I get it? And the better you get at that, the better you get at, also optimizing that whole chain, so that at the end of it, you can actually make quite a bit of money on it. But the interesting thing is what happens in stores. When you're there with a consultant, it feels much better to ask someone, should I do the white swoosh or the pink swoosh? Because if you're by yourself in front of a computer, it's going to cost you the moment you send it. It's kind of nice to throw that off. So we're also finding a way now where you can email a design to a friend or upload it and say, hey, what do you think about this one? So I think we're getting smarter along the way with that, and it's just a really, really rich opportunity. And some people just want to put their name on it, and that's okay. You've got a whole range of things there.
I think also, if anybody's experienced actually doing it, it's a very, really, I think started with Dell when they were customizing their computers early on online. And then Nike now has taken a lead position in the complexity of what they're doing with the addition of technical performance features. But I also think that if you did customize your shoes, I did black, but I still did it, and it comes and you put it on, and I think you really have a very different relationship with the brand after you do that, after you've customized something.
I think we're out of time.
Thank you very much.